So today we're here with Lance Jackson. He's partners with franchisees Nisha and Shane Bullock. Together they operate four Teriyaki Madness shops. They originally started on their development schedule with two, and they recently took over two additional shops just this year. So those four shops are between Utah and Vada, and they have a rich experience owning and operating restaurants together, which has led them to see success in their sales at Teriyaki Madness. So we're going to talk about their story today. So with our first question, what were you guys doing before becoming TMAD franchisees and running the shops? And what attracted you to becoming a franchisee in general, and then also choosing Teriyaki Madness?
Before I was in business, I have some family businesses, did some things on my own as well. I've always enjoyed business, especially owning something, feeling that, it's mine and I got to take care of it. My partners, Shane and Nisha, came from the corporate world in Walmart, worked there. They had a very successful career there, both of them. And me and Shane have been friends forever, and we've always wanted to do something together. And we've partnered with in another franchise, but we stumbled across Teriyaki Madness in Las Vegas. We would go there to have our business meetings, and the food was fantastic. And we actually happened to run into one of the existing franchisees, and he was super about that. Said, "Hey, whatever you guys want to know, I'm an open book." He goes, "I think you guys need to run one of these. These are popular. They're gaining popularity." And so, yeah, we kind of went with him and listened to him, and we thought T-Man was great. It's a very simple concept. Didn't take a whole lot of time and prep and all of that stuff to get a store open and running. And so, we felt it was a good thing for us. And so we joined, and we've had a good time doing it.
That's great. And so would you say having experience with another franchise, and then also, I know you mentioned they had experience with Walmart and you own some different businesses. How's that helped translate into your success with Teriyaki Madness and kind of helped you know how to manage people and manage a business in general?
Having that experience, we've all had a different aspect from running, whether that's corporate world or just me and my family doing our own and startup. We all have different talents that we bring, and I think it complements us quite well. We all have strengths in certain areas, and we work well together. We don't always agree, but we do work well, and we try to use those to help us in our success and with our employees, how we manage our business as well. We do have meetings a lot. We talk a lot to make sure that it is, in the direction that we want it to go. So that's been a big part of our success.
So I know you took ownership of two new shops this year. How'd you manage to do that? How did TMAD help you?
So we just kind of got lucky with that. Once again, it was brought to our attention, that these shops were available, and actually these two shops are the ones that we actually saw, and one is close by, is where we were eating all the time. And so we kind of knew of them, and we knew how good they were doing. And so, yeah, we were very excited to take these over and have that opportunity, because these shops are, I think, some of the originals, and people love it. In Vegas, Vegas people just love Teriyaki Madness. And so we were super excited. We did go in, talk to a lot of the employees, and they were very friendly. It was awesome to see how accepting of us they were. I know that's a little scary, in that transition. New owners, what are they going to do? Are they going to let me go? Or can I stay on? And so transition, yeah, was actually, I thought, pretty smooth. There were some crazy days that were, it was like long, and oh no, is this really going to happen? but we made it work. And so, no, so far it's been good. The employees have been great. There's always hiccups in transition, but you work through those and you move forward.
And then,
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry.
so sorry, Jen, I'm going to jump in. So you started with one shop, of course, then 2, 3, 4. How did you manage the employees and build kind of your team, if you will, across all of those shops? You know, you started with one, it was clearly a smaller team, and then you went into other states. So you've got a little bit of distance. Can you kind of talk about how you do that and manage that well?
You've got to have a good manager. That is a key. Without that, things fall apart because it lets us do other stuff. Without a good management, so you got to find that. And luckily with the 2 new stores, we had that in place. There was a couple employees there that we pulled aside and we said, hey, is this something that you still want to do? Are you able to do that? And they were. And that was even with our other store in Pahrump, Nevada. We have a gentleman there that's fantastic, and it really allows us to do that. We found another employee we're kind of transitioning her to more of an area manager. So she's kind of helping us too to bounce around from the stores, helping the day-to-day operations. And this has been key as well, to float. And that allows me, Shane, and Nisha to go where we need to be, or, that's the back behind all the paperwork, everything else, ordering and taking care of stuff, repairs, things like that. So having good management is key, I think, because without that, we would have to be there all the time.
Absolutely. And so with the management, do you typically find employees from within the shop and, train them up, or are you finding good managers from outside that then can help lead a team with inside?
In our store in Utah, that's what we're trying to do, is train from inside up. The other ones we actually found from whether that was existing or from outside sources. So we've actually seen both. Some of them we just knew, but I think it's just a over time process. You just got to go through, because some of them, they start off great, but then they kind of fizzle. And then other ones, you just slowly work with them and build that relationship. And once they see that vision and understand what you're expecting, and they take over, and it makes it a lot easier.
Awesome. Good to know.
Right. Yeah. Definitely important to delegate with that many employees and shops. Sounds like a great plan. And then I know you mentioned a few minutes ago, you said there's definitely obviously some crazy parts of taking on 2 more shops. Could you talk about maybe some struggles that you went through and how you overcame those?
The biggest ones probably was just the upkeep of these 2 stores. We did have to do a lot of repairs, maintenance, just making sure that everything was up to par, because we had to have all the inspections redone. And so that was probably our biggest struggle of finding, who's, whether that's the landlord, all the hood cleaning, just everything. That was the biggest one that I felt. There's some paperwork as well, but going in there, making sure everything was good to go. Did a lot of cleaning, just kind of almost, just kind of a restart, checking every little thing just to make sure that, tomorrow something doesn't break down and then all of a sudden now you're stalled again. But that was kind of what we did, is we went through and walked with, especially with some of these employees that was there. They knew the equipment, they knew the store. So we went with them, listened to them, said, what needs to be, what are some of the bigger things, some of the smaller things, what do we need to do to make this better? And that was a big thing. And that was probably the biggest headache.
What was the smoothest?
Actually, probably the employees.
Okay.
We were very shocked. We thought that we'd have a mass exit, so when we got there, really that was a key of going in and talking to all of them and making sure that they felt comfortable with us, and that, hey, we're not going to make crazy changes. We'll do this over time, but we want to make sure that you feel comfortable with us and what you're doing, because watching them work, all of them are super. They're fantastic. They're hard workers. And so we wanted to keep them, and we wanted to make sure that they were okay with us being there.
That's awesome. Okay, so looking to the future, what are your partnerships, like kind of long-term goals, both just as business owners and with TMAD?
Long-term is always just success. And that comes with, just making a good business, having people come in and saying, wow, I love this place. That's kind of our long-term goal, is to have customers come in and frequent us often, and maybe get a few more. That's still always a good thing. But just to have success is what we're looking for, is making everything good, smooth, and adding more to our personnel too, because with that management, we feel we're still small. We need a few more to help us with that, because we still go in and cook and stuff like that, and we're right there helping prep and doing all that too, which that is fine, and we need to do that, because I think that shows the employees that we're still involved. But we'd like to take a little bit more of a step back and come in and be more like an owner, so we can work with customers too when they come in. Maybe we're handing the bags out to them, thank you for coming, appreciate your business, and being more friendly out that way, more out in the community even. That would be kind of more of a long-term goal as well.
Absolutely. And then last question. So I know you've owned businesses before. This is not your first venture. TMAD is not. But what's the most valuable thing you've learned since joining the madness?
Teamwork. That's huge, because without teamwork, the ship sinks. And so you've got to constantly do that. And it is hard because of, you got a lot of younger kids that come and go, and some of them are only there for a few days even. And so, but teamwork is when you're all on the same page and you're working together, and things just seem to go more smooth.
Absolutely. Well, Lance, thank you so much for your time today. It was good to see you again. It's been a while. Congratulations on your expansion, and yeah, cheers to many more.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's good to see you too.
Of course.
Thanks, Lance. Have a good one.
Yep. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.